we had a problem with our children. And, see, the Millbrook First Nation policy, the people in the chief and council, is that we send our children to a public school system. We probably could have a federal school up here in our First Nation, but we didn't think it was in the best interest of our students to go that way. So we believe that it's better for our children to go to public school system so they can learn about all segments of society, eh? And it gives them a better background when they leave school system, elementary, high school, and go to college. They're more prepared to deal with the university system because they're well versed in meeting all aspects of society in the elementary school system. But we, not only in Millbrook First Nation, among Native people across Canada, they seem to have a difficult time in reading and reading comprehension. So we looked at that very carefully, and we kind of pinpointed the problem. So we got teachers' aides, speech therapists, and we placed them in elementary school. We placed them in junior high, and placed them in high school, and placed them in universities to help our people as they go along on the education trail. We're an aggressive First Nation. We're going forward in the field of economic development and free enterprise. We promote education, we promote health here. We have our bylaws here as a government. We have excessive noise, we have dog control, unsightly premises, we have zoning. So we're pretty well up to par right now in modern society. We have all the tools in place in order to, as we go forward, in order to be successful. At this period in time, the recession is in, money is tight, so it's kind of difficult to get any kind of funding whatsoever. I know even ourselves, Chief and Council, in the field of economic development, we're having problems because they seem to have any money, no money, eh? Even though now that if you put in a proposal from the federal government for economic development, you got to put your own equity in. So you have to come with 34% of your own dollars, and the federal government puts in 66%. So you got to come up with your own equity, and you got to have a few dollars to meet their criteria, or you won't qualify to get the other funding. So I mean, it's quite a way dealing with the federal government. Now, we deal a lot with the federal government, not near as much as we don't deal with the provincial government as much as we deal with the federal government, because we're on federal turf here. But our people will be going forward in the field of economic development and getting in more business for themselves as they get trained and know more about free enterprise and know about business. You know, you have to be pretty astute in that. You have to be very experienced, and when you have your own business, you know, because I mean, it's how you run your business, whether you're going to be a success or a failure. One of the main factors that we had here that helped us tremendously in the field of economic development was our BLTs. We have 120 BLTs. We have 17 out to private band members, and the rest of them are all run by the band. But we do collect 60% of the profits from our private ones on the 17 machines. Also, if we run them, we collect 80%. So the dollars we get from the gaming is very essential in the success of the Millbrook First Nation going forward in the field of economic development. Of course, we use that money for different purposes. We pay for our teachers' aides, speech therapists and stuff in the school system. We donate money into the new school that's put up down in Colchester County, elementary school or high school. We donated money to the new hospital on the formula that they used. We usually donate dollars to different charities also. But if we didn't have the game and money, we wouldn't be where we're at today. If we had to depend directly on the federal government for funding, what we have here in Millbrook today would not be, we wouldn't have it. So the extra dollars we get from gaming, we looked at the big picture. From the gaming money also, we looked at the standard of living of our people. And one of the problems that we looked at is that in the school system, a lot of our people were on social. They couldn't take their children out on a vacation or camping and things like that. So when they went back to school in September, teachers would ask, well, where do you spend your vacation, Betty and Joey and Jim? And then it'd come to the First Nation child, well, where'd you go? So they were on social, no extra dollars to go on vacation. So we give $1,000 out to every man, woman, and child on our band, living on reserve or off the reserve. And we give $1,500 out, would last in November, for a total of $2,500 a year to each man, woman, and child as a member of the Millbrook First Nation. And that comes in very handy for them to take their children out on vacations, you know, in the summertime. And it comes in very handy for our people at Christmas time. The things that you gotta have a good relation and cooperation from the federal government, the provincial government, the municipality governments. When First Nations are going forward in the field of economic development and free enterprise, you have to have their cooperation in order to be successful. We have a good partnership down here with the town of Truro and Colchester County. We have various meetings with them, so 3 levels of government we can work together for the benefit of not only my people, but their people also.